This is Jazz and you're watching Jazz's Rockin Roadshow. I am here in the beautiful city of Prague in the Czech Republic, just outside of the Natural History and Science Museum. It is a beautiful evening out and it's time to figure out who our musical guest for this episode is going to be. Call Rocky Lamonti on speakerphone.
Calling Rocky Lamont on speaker.
Hello.
Rocky, how are you?
Good. How are you, Jazz?
Good. Hey, buddy, I got a question for you. I am in Prague, in the Czech Republic, hanging out. It's like 9:30 at night. I forgot it's 3:30 there. I would have waited a little while to call you. But anyway, I wanted to know if you and the Borstal Boys would like to make an appearance on my TV show. The correct answer is yes.
Yes, probably. That'd be awesome, man.
All right. I love you guys because your singer is the only singer of any Pittsburgh band that brings me cookies.
Yes, he does.
I would love to have the Borstal Boys on my TV show on the condition that I get cookies.
Okay.
Fair,
I'll make sure more shows then.
Okay, fair enough. This is the Borstal Boys on Jazz's Rockin Roadshow. So this is our driver to go to Prague, Mira.
Yes.
And Mira is a rock and roll drummer, but you grew up in the communism days here in Czech Republic, right?
Exactly.
And he was telling a great story about how he used to get music over here, and it was kind of a black market, and I made him stop, and he's gonna pick up and retell the story just for you.
I'm drummer, and in the age of communism, it was very complicated to get Western music, you know, because only few people could get out to buy to bring in, and it was for communists, it was like evil from imperialism, you know, and such a nonsense, such a. And when I was 16, 17, and sometimes every second Sunday, used to be some sacred places in the forest, in the parks, you know, and we were gathering with the others, with the same guys as me, and we changed our vinyl records, sell it, buy it, you know, illegally actually. And sometimes police came, you know, I don't know how they got to know that, maybe somebody betrayal, and police came with the sticks and beat it us, and we were running out, and they took vinyls, you know, and then actually, my mom didn't know that anything about it. You know, I told her much later when I was much older, because otherwise it was a trouble for her. You know, when she got to know I'm running in front of the police, you know, and that's it. That's where I grew up, you know, in the communist country. But in spite of all the trouble, we listen to Radio Luxembourg illegally. You know, it was not digital radio, it was analogy, and
right.
We can turn slightly the button because the commie is trying to disturb the sound, like do like this, you know, and we slightly turn the button and listen to rock and roll music again, and that's it. That's the story.
That's a great story. I mean, we take it for granted. We just go to this. Well, now you just go to the internet, but back in the day, you used to go to the store and just buy it. We didn't have to run from the police to go buy music.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy. Thank you so much.
Someday they stole them, you know, all the vinyls, and we were pissed off, you know, and oh man, they stolen the great music, you know, and then they pretending they broke it, but
they took it and listened to it.
Of course, yeah.
Excellent. See, music is truly the universal language.
Definitely.
It really is. Thank you for the story. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, we've got another story.
So when I was in high school, I was 17, 18, we used to have a band, rock and roll band, and I'm drummer, as you know, and we couldn't play in Prague because of long hair, you know, and such a bad dress, and we could play 25 miles out of Prague. We used to call it police ring like over the Prague, and inside we couldn't play, outside we could. You know, and people in Prague are different than people out of Prague. What a man, you know, that's all, you know, and we had to go to special jury every single year and show them how we are playing. The jury, no musicians, you know, like some elderly man from Communist Party,
right,
sitting in behind the table like a jury, you know, like a judge.
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
And we played the 2-3 songs to show them how we are playing. We had to show all the lyrics because we played our own songs, and they wanted us to show all the lyrics, and they tried to looking for something between lanes, you know, if it's something against the regime, against the communism. And many bands couldn't play at all, you know, like because of too loud and too, I don't know, too wild, you know, like punk rock or something. That's the story, and we had to go to like a soldiers, you know, we had to go in front of the jury, you know, and then put the hair into the collar, like pretend we are short hair, you know, and then play not so loud, you know, and play like smoothly, you know, not very wild, and to let us play at least, you know, at least out of the ring.
You had to go. It was like going to court to play music.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Like a test.
And
like the exam.
How often did you have to do that?
Once a year. Once a year.
Wow. So if you went in there and you played a song by Led Zeppelin, but they don't like Led Zeppelin, you're out.
Of course, yeah.
I can't imagine that.
It's
Wow.
serious, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating at all. It's a real story. Of course, we play the different songs and different lyrics.
Right.
Not exactly, you know, like go yourself, communists, you know, but something like hide away. You know, we try to hide it between, as I said, between lanes.
So once you got approval, then once you went to go play, the hair came out of the collar and
Yeah.
the volume went up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great story. We're coming into Prague. This is his band. We're rocking it. What was the name of the band again?
Easy.
Easy. E-Z. There it is. Go buy this album. Can you get it on the internet?
No, the band split up. No Spotify, nothing.
I'm just gonna put it in my pocket. No.
That's the
Yeah.
name of the album.
Yeah.
Show me the way.
That was the song we just heard. Awesome. So this is, now what's this song called?
Zulena.
Zulena.
It's about a girl. She was get stoned after the marijuana, and he wanted to. I don't know how to say polite. He wanted to.
Okay.
You know, and she was drunk as not drunk. She was, you know, high as a kite.
You're right.
And then he bought her the joint.
Right.
She gets stoned. Didn't do anything with him at the end. You know? That's the lyric. That's the.
Wait,
2000.
Yep.
It was a different time in 2016. I don't think I broke this, but I want to show the cover. Can I show the cover? Check it out. See? For everybody back in Pittsburgh.
This song, actually, this song's Hulana about the, you know, gets
Right.
the girl. It's on a YouTube video.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm gonna have to find it.
that's the name of the song. Hulana.
Zulena.
Hulana, like hulet. It means like smoke. at
Yeah,
time.
yeah. Okay.
And they band Easy and the song's Hulana.
Okay.
I see the video on YouTube.
It is a beautiful day here in Prague, and I'm heading down to the river because I thought it would be cool to get on a riverboat and check out the city from that perspective. So we're going to jump on this boat, head up to the Charles Bridge, which is a famous bridge here in Prague. It's a stone bridge with these cool arches. So we're going to jump on the boat, head up there, and then turn around and come back, and we'll check out all the views from the water here in Prague. I am walking across the Charles Bridge, which connects Lesser Town to Old Town. And construction started in 1351 of the bridge, and until 1841, this was the only way to cross the river. So, there's some history for you. I'm not sure why, but everybody's petting the dog. So let's pet the dog. One in Rome, one in Prague. Not sure what I just did there, but I pet the dog. I forgot to mention that I think this bridge was also used in the movie Mission Impossible. Always support local music when it's good. This is Control Alien. These guys were rocking out a freaking steel drum, I think that's what it was, and a drum box, a cajon, on the Charles Bridge, and it was really good, so I picked up a CD. That's what you need to do to support bands. Just buy their CD. Simple. Or t-shirt.
Everything's all brand new. Everything that you want for free, you're gonna end up dead. Kinda happy, but that's your style. Deliver me what you got, girl, and I'll be around. It's right here in your face, but you can't see. Can't get it out of your head, honey, till you dance with me. Till you dance with me. Till you dance with me.
Just in front of me is the John Lennon Wall here in Prague. It's across from the French embassy. And what happened following John Lennon's death in the 80s, an artist drew up a piece of artwork on this wall of John Lennon. And ever since then, people have added all kinds of quotes and stuff to it. So I'm standing here looking at the wall. I don't see a bunch of John Lennon quotes, but let's go in for a closer look and see what we see. It's a wall with graffiti on it. I was expecting inspirational quotes from the Beatles, but I don't see them. Well, there it is in its entirety, the John Lennon Wall. Yippee-yay. I think I'd rather see the gum wall in Seattle. If you don't know what that is, Google it. This is the old town square here in Prague. And this statue behind me is the Juan Hughes Monument that celebrates or respects or whatever the Hughes and the Protestants. They were forced into exile after the 30-year war of, what was it called? White Mountain, I believe it was. The War of the White Mountain. So that's what that statue is. All right, I did forget to mention one bit of info regarding the old town square here. If anybody remembers the old Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise, the first one, I believe that there was a restaurant made right here to look like he was in a restaurant. It's not, it doesn't exist for real. And he blew up a fish tank or something in it and he ran across the square here. So I believe this is where it happened. Little trivia for you. I am in front of the astronomical clock here in Prague at the Old Town Center. This is the third oldest astronomical clock, built in 1410. Check it out. All right, I'm getting back to the hotel after spending the day in Prague. I'm gonna do a little Zoom interview with Rocky from the Borstal Boys. All right, I am back at the hotel here in Prague after walking around all day and just checking out the sights. Had a great time, but now it is time to talk to my dear friend, Rocky Lamani. How you doing, buddy?
Good, how you doing, Jazz?
I'm quite well. Thank you for agreeing to be on the show. And I guess I should say, Rocky, bass player extraordinaire from the one and only Borstal Boys. That should have been how I introduced you.
Yeah, man.
But I think your reputation speaks for itself. You've done a lot throughout the city. And for those of you that don't know, Rocky is pretty much responsible for music from the 412. So on behalf of all the musicians in Pittsburgh, thank you, buddy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So not to get on a tangent about that, because I want to talk about the Borstal Boys, but let's talk about 412 just for a moment. What went through your mind that all of a sudden you just decided to take on all this responsibility and spearhead a TV station and a radio station for the Pittsburgh scene?
I have no idea what went through my head, and I'm doubting myself ever since I started it. But it's fun, and the whole reason I did it was to promote original music and to get some people to do things like you're doing. You started your show, and you're promoting original music, and I kind of wanted everybody to kind of maybe have a place or a platform where they could do their own show, and I'd have it on the station and we could promote original music in this town, you know. So it's been going good. I'd love to see more people doing stuff like you're doing their own show and being creative and bringing music to people. And if anybody out there wants to do that, please do so.
Yes, and there's submission forms on the website, I believe. If there isn't, you can always email any of us, myself included. Look me up on Facebook. Get a hold of me. I'll hook you up with this guy. Get your own show.
Yeah,
Travel
man.
the world.
Travel the world. Man, I wish I was in Prague. I'm just sitting in this is my editing room. You can't see my computers. They're in front of me here, but this is where I do all the editing.
So tell me all about the Borstal Boys. You guys been playing for what, 5, 6?
5 or 6 years we've been playing over the last year. Vinny hasn't been around this year, so we haven't played many gigs. We've only done the Rock for Life shows because, you know, we got to support that, and the station supports that as well. I'm glad that we are. I'm glad we can hook up for that because I really dig that cause.
Rock for Life is a charity organization that puts on all these wonderful events to raise money for kids that have terrible, terrible diseases, helps their families with money just so that they can be kids and the kids can be rock stars for a day. Would that be a good way to sum it up?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it was the last show we did out at the Shriners, and it was so cool to see the kids just hanging out and having a fun time. I mean, that's really what it's all about. And it brings a smile to their face and music into their lives. And kids should experience music at a young age, and we should be teaching music and the arts to kids from a very young age in our schools throughout their education. However far they go in their education, they should still be exposed to music and arts because it's truly the only thing that makes you feel good and express yourself, I believe. That's just my opinion on it.
Unites us.
Yes, for sure it does.
Yeah. Okay, sorry I interrupted you. Like I said, I told him before we started the interview, I am the world's worst interviewer. Worst interviewer. But hey,
I could be too. Yeah. We both have our own shows.
Well, hey, listen, at least I'm not chewing gum. And check this out, because I am in Prague, right? And I don't have, okay, I will put the photograph right here, but I went to the little convenience store and I found this candy bar. It was called Mary and Juana candy. And I bought it and I started to eat it. I'm like, damn, I forgot this stuff. You can buy this stuff just anywhere in Prague. Like,
yeah. Does it have the good stuff in it?
I don't know. I passed out. It must be.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, there you go. Bring me home a cookie.
Right? I'll go through customs and all the dogs will be like, oh, what the hell is it? So anyways, sorry to interrupt you. Like I said, I'm a terrible interviewer, but you know, anyways.
Okay, so the Borstal Boys, Boys, we've done 2 whole albums since we started. And we're still releasing songs off of the second album. We release one song at a time. It's kind of what we did almost over a whole year. We've released probably 9 songs, and we've got one. We got 1 or 2 more left to release, and then we have a whole nother album that we recorded rhythm tracks for probably 9 months ago, man, and we haven't even touched it. But some good tunes, so we'll probably start working on that here at the end of this year. When you come home and we do your show, it'll be the first show or the only show that'll ever be recorded of the Borstal Boys without Vinny playing on it. So. It'll be a piece of history, I guess, for the Borstal Boys. I mean, it'll be the only recording, you know, done like that without Vinny, because Vinny will be back by next year. So, you know, but we're doing good, man. We're still rehearsing and stuff like that. I think, you know, the station took a lot of time off of me. And since Vinny wasn't around anyhow, we just kind of been getting together to rehearse and things like that. So, next year, I think you'll see us on some bigger shows and some cooler shows. I wish I had candy to eat.
It's right here. It's right there.
That's
okay.
Awesome.
So if for anybody
sleeping by the end of this interview,
right? No. So Vinny is a guitar player. In case you're wondering who Vinny was, so 2 guitar players, but they're going to come to the house. I'm going to fly back in a couple of days here, and they're going to come jam, and it's going to be special because it's going to be unique because Vinny won't be there, but at the same time it'll be sad because Vinny won't be there because I love you guys as a full piece. You know what? No, well, that's another thing I was going to say. You guys are like a 6-piece. 7, but
Six
yeah.
feet.
But then sometimes you guys have an entire horn section. So
That's 9.
okay, anybody backup singers?
And then we have maybe sometimes we have someone else sing on stage or something like that, maybe 10. But that doesn't happen a lot. That's happened a couple times.
Yeah.
But I would love for that to happen more often. In fact, maybe next year you might see a couple of those shows. In fact,
cool.
I'm probably going to do that.
Okay.
At least one nice big band, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, I play a pretty mean automaton. If you don't know what that is, look it up on the internet. Automaton.
Automaton.
Yes.
With an M, matone.
Yes.
Okay.
It's Japanese.
Okay.
It's like a theremin almost.
Okay. Maybe we can work that in. Maybe you'll play it at your house.
Oh, you know what? Let's do it.
Yeah, man.
What? How would you describe Borstal Boys music? Because I think of you guys like you guys are the truest sense of just American rock and roll. I mean, is that kind of, if you had to sit down and somebody just looked at you for the first time ever and said, "Well, what kind of music's your band play?" What would you say?
I guess to me, it's just rock and roll. Genres of music sometimes confuse me because I really don't know what. Me and Bill put stuff into the station, and he says it's rock, and I'm like, "There's no way." I'm sorry if I said that. There's no way that's rock and roll right there. You know what I mean? I mean, everything just kind of gets, and then some things are heavy, but they're still rock and roll. But to me, rock and roll is Chuck Berry, the original rock and roll. So my favorite band of all times is the Faces, and I think that's rock and roll. The Stones is rock and roll. So that's kind of what we were influenced by, me and Vinny for sure, and that's really the nucleus of, because I've been playing with Vinny since 1990, so it's always been me and Vinny. So I think that's really where we are.
3 years, wow.
Yeah, man.
Giving up his age.
Yes, yeah. I think we won the Rock Challenge in 1990. 1990.
That was from graffiti, right?
Graffiti Rock Challenge, yes. And then we all sat around, and Budweiser was almost our sponsor. And we were all smoking cigarettes at the interview at Graffiti out in the front bar. And I think all of us blowing smoke into the two guys from Budweiser's face, we didn't get that endorsement. I think Triple X ended up getting it.
Yeah, that happens. Well, those guys do, right? So, all right. Well, I'm going to keep this real short. Thank you for joining me. I'm on my way back to Pittsburgh to meet up with the guys at the studio. They're going to jam some tunes for us, and then we'll do some interviews. It's going to be a great time. So, next stop, USA.
That's when you come
All right, I made it back to Pittsburgh, and I am with my dear friends, the Borstal Boys.
What's up, Jazz?
What's up, guys?
Welcome back.
Hey, thank you. It's good to be back. So good to have you guys here. It's been long overdue. So, what's going on? There used to be 8 of you. There's 4 of you now.
There was never 8 of us.
There was never.
There was 11 of us with the horn section, right?
Yeah,
when the horn section was out there.
I feel honored because this is like an intimate, like 4-piece version of the Borstal Boys.
This has never been done before.
Yeah.
We recently lost our keyboard player, Joe Pileski.
If anybody sees him, please return him.
Please return them.
We love them and we miss them.
Yeah, we did.
See you, Joe.
So it was a good thing, especially for him. But so it wasn't like a bad breakup, anything like that. It was just a personal decision.
Yeah.
That was good for him and his family. But
Sometimes he wanders. So if you see him, he was last seen in blue jeans, a leather jacket,
A hat.
and he's usually on the side of the road working on his car. So if you see someone on the side of the road working on their car, please look out for Joe.
Right on. You guys have played out a lot, but this last year you kind of not so much this last year, am I right? But you're going to kick it back up in gear now.
and he's coming back.
And he's coming back. Okay, so you have another guitar player who hasn't been jamming with you as of late, but he's coming back, and the Borstal Boys are going to be full force.
He'll actually be back home, I think, in February.
Yeah.
So you guys mainly do the showcase type bars, right? Like, or do you do where you have to play 2 or 3 sets?
Yep.
Do you do those too? Okay.
Whatever Mark books we do.
Okay, because like every time I've seen you, it's been like a showcase situation. You know, 1 set kind of. You know.
We've been doing that the last year because we just kind of flew through this year. Actually, really, I mean,
We do that because you know how hard it is to play 40 songs in one night? It's really hard. It's easier to play 10.
I'm not gonna lie. That's
honestly, I'd rather always play like 10, 12 songs opening up for someone.
Yeah,
There's a lot
right.
of people there. It's tough. But there's also I like to play. I like to play 3 hours.
Oh, by the way, I was promised cookies by him on your behalf.
Well, he failed to tell me, and I'm
know.
I'm getting old, Jazz. I'm slowing down.
Yeah,
I can't keep up with the demand.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this interview's over. Get the hell out.
I could politely tell you about the cookies. I've been making that one type of cookie, chocolate chunk peanut butter, for 18 years, year round, just that one type. So I could whip up a batch everybody likes. If you do one thing over and over, it's good. So I started taking them. Like I would take a container, maybe it was somebody's birthday or something. So I'd show up at a gig and give one person a big batch of cookies and make them happy and piss everyone else off. So I'd get baggies, put 2 cookies in, and I would pass them around. Right. And I got sick of doing that. But people liked it. But I told Rocky, I said, I'm sick of doing this, man. I just want to have fun, play a gig. He's like, Mark, if you don't bring those cookies, nobody will come see us.
Now, see, these are the interviews. These are the interviews people want to hear. We're putting in the man hours to bring you the information that people.
We probably wouldn't get any gigs at all if we didn't have cookies.
Yeah. Matt tried whipping up a batch one time. I didn't want it at all.
Matt likes them because I give him a batch.
I get the munchies.
Someone would complain because he ate them all on the way home.
Right.
I get the munchies, man.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Borstal Boys. I don't even know where to go with this interview.
You want to know?
Yeah, I don't know. I ain't got no cookies, so get the hell out. See you guys. Thanks.
I'm going to give you an IOU.
Okay, I like this guy
I'll
again.
hand deliver
Thanks,
them.
buddy.
I'll hand deliver them.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Rock and roll.